Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch. Every once in a blue moon, we talk about something else crafty, but today it is all cross stitch. If you are new, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play and giving my channel a try. I hope you like what you see, and you'll hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for also pressing play and coming back and visiting with me. I so appreciate each and every one of you. As you can tell, if you are a regular viewer, I did not tape last Friday. We had family here. So it was just a lot going on and so on and so forth. And it just wasn't going to happen. And then Saturday, I took Megan back to school. So that was my entire morning once I got her out the door. So on Sunday, if you haven't seen it yet, I did tape a Flosstube Extra, and I tried my hand at doing a Stitch With Me video. And thank you so much for everybody who's watched it and commented and given me all the support and said you enjoyed it and would like more. That's great feedback, so thank you so much. I enjoyed it. I kept wanting to stop stitching and just talk to you, which kind of defeats the purpose, but I did my best to just keep going with the stitching. And in that video, not only did I talked about Thanksgiving, since that had just happened, but I also did talk about my travels between Connecticut and Delaware, the backstory, why I'm in sometimes Connecticut, sometimes Delaware, and where the future's going. Because I know a lot of you have asked questions about that, and I don't know if I've ever truly given the whole story. So if you'd like to know, it is all in that video. I think I was coherent enough. The actual reasons to start with were kind of, just feelings. So I did my best. Anyway, if you'd like to see that, or you'd just like something to stitch to, I hope you'll give it a try. And hopefully there'll be more of those in the future. I did like sitting, I was right there, right in that corner. That seemed to work out pretty well, and I was pretty comfortable with that. So we'll give it another try, I'm sure, at some point. All right, so I have a lot of stitching because I haven't seen you in a couple weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of which are pieces you've already seen. So I kind of kept the same ones through the rotation as opposed to 13, 14, however many new ones, because I, from week to week, would stitch a lot of the same stuff anyway. I do have 2 starts that are tiny, 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 and are actually finished. And I have 1 start, I started it yesterday, I think. I'd have to look and see, but I'm pretty sure it was it was December 1st. So it was Wednesday. I gave a start, and I'm really enjoying it, and I love the fabric I chose for it. So I'm super excited to show that to you as well. But besides those 2 little mini itty bitty finishes, I don't have any other finishes from the bigger pieces. We're just plugging along. There's a few smaller things that in the next week or 2, if I buckle down and get it done, there might be some finishes, but I'm also enjoying some of my ongoing bigger pieces, so we'll see. Speaking of which, ongoing bigger pieces, the first one I'm going to show you is my beloved Autumn Lane Stitchery. I love this pattern. It's called Autumn Towne. I know there are lots of people stitching it. That's what it looks like. And there's been a lot of different types of greens that people have chosen, so it's really fun to see when you look and see what other people are doing. And there's mine. This is done on 18 count fallen leaf from To Die For Fabrics. I'm pretty sure I checked her site on Etsy, and I think at this point she's closed off ordering for before Christmas. So I think at this point, I don't even know if she's got the stuff on there, the fabrics, or if she's waiting and going. I can't remember now. I remember reading, but then I confused the different sites. So if you were looking for something from her before Christmas, I don't think that's possible anymore. Most dyers, I would imagine at this point, are pretty much strapped before the holidays, but I'm sure it'll open up again and be all available come January. So this is where we are. I am using all of the DMCs as opposed to some of the variegateds that is called for. They do have some DMCs called for. And I feel like I got a decent amount done. This was a big chunk I still needed to do of sky, so I finally got the sky done. The big chunk of sky is done. And then we started down here. I came back this way and I finished this house, started some here, and then kind of worked here. I keep bouncing. So I was kind of working here, then I said, oh, let's work here. This is a giant tree right here. And then I said, oh, maybe let's do some down here. So who knows? I don't know where I'll jump to next week when you see it, or whenever you see it. I don't know if this will be on my weekly rotations or not. With Christmas coming, not that I'm necessarily trying to get those Christmases finished, Christmas projects done by Christmas. Who knows? I could pull something completely out of left field, flowers or something, and just start on it if it feel like it. So this might be something you see next week. We'll see. But I'm so happy so many of you are also stitching this. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of color changes, and there are chunks that obviously are pretty full coveragey, but it is a lot of fun. So that's Autumn Lane Stitchery. Alrighty, put this over here, make sure area's clean. Okay, now we're gonna go with a little small guy. Wee Santa 2020 from Heart and Hand. He's so cute. These Santas are adorable. I picked up the 2021 because I thought that one looked cute too. No, 2020, yeah, 2021. I have the 2019, that's what it is. I haven't done any of these yet. But I really like them. And here we go. This is 18 count Whimsical from Color and Cotton. And gosh, I have a spot on my notes where I did change the face. I think when I was doing it, it was very pink. And so I did change the colors, and then I didn't write them down. And I don't have the notes here. So I will put it in the description box below, and this is clearly not done. So I'll make sure I write it on my notes so that next time if I'm looking at my notes, I'll have it. That's the only change I did. Everything else I've used the DMC conversion. I think it's charted in, actually no, oh yes. So there's some Classic Colorworks and there's some Weeks Dye Works, but they give DMC conversions for it all. And then there is supposed to be like a couple little pink stitches for a mouth in his, by his beard. I was stitching and completely spaced on that, and I think he's fine. I like it the way it is. And again, that was very pinky, so then I'd have to figure out what I would do with it, so I'm just gonna keep it this way. But we were plugging along. I finally I couldn't find this green even though I had it somewhere, so I picked up one when I went to Michael's for the Black Friday sales. 20% off DMC, well, 20% off whatever. And so I picked up a bunch of DMCs. And so now he's got some mittens and we're plugging along. I really do like this color blue for kind of like a winterish scene. So that's that, Wee Santa 2020. All right, now I've got a run of small ones and then I'll go back to a couple bigger ones. I did basically I switched between big and small projects, mostly small this week, these past 2 weeks. November Cottage, Country Cottage Needleworks. My goal was to get everything done except for down here. And I did it. So I was really happy with myself. And I even got an extra flower here. I kept, oh, you know what? Except for the turkey, he doesn't have little legs. But that's fine, that'll get done. But everything else is stitched, including, yes, all the windows in the house. So at this point, all I have is this bottom border, and I'm pretty sure I was able to do the top border in a day of stitching. So hopefully this could be a finish next time you see it. This is the back side of Vintage Country Mocha, 18 count. So the front side, the printed side, is definitely a little bit more brown. And then if you were looking for something that was a little bit more just straight taupe, and you happen to have some extra of this fabric, this side does work for that. So we're getting there. All DMCs. Everything you'll see is DMC. I make the conversions. If they don't give the conversions, I will find them myself. So there we go. Alrighty. Next, oh, I need to show you. I definitely have embraced digital patterns a lot more. I mean, you get them quicker. They're in some cases cheaper. And in some cases, that's all you can get. I think for this one, that's all you can get. It's Stitching with the Housewives, Candy Cane Lane. That's their version in the black fabric. And then I pulled out some more of that Whimsical from Color and Cotton. And here I am. This one's a jinx. It is such a jinx for me. So I finally did finish the words. I did change them to the red because the white, while the white shows nicely on that blue for snow and things, for the words it just wasn't showing up. So I did change that. And which house? This house, actually the middle house, I did change the, called for whatever the DMC alternative would be. And that, again, the description box below, I will have all that listed. I just picked a deeper blue because the blue that would have been the conversion, it kind of faded into this. But, so after pulling out pretty much all the words and getting that right, I had done, I can't remember now. I don't know if I had been working on the greenery here or the house. I had to pull out a whole nother. For such a small pattern, I am having lots of problems counting on this one. It's gonna be tiny, so that's the height of it. And then, except for a little bit extra on either side of the words, like you can see here, that's gonna be it. So it's gonna be a nice small, if I do put it on the tree as an ornament, and for the Christmas smalls, a lot of them I am thinking of making into ornaments. I have nothing down here for that. I don't have my glue gun. I don't have the mat boarding. I don't have any fabrics. I have nothing. So when I do get up back to Connecticut, I'm gonna have to maybe do a whole bunch of finishes. Not going on any trees or anything this year, but or it's just something to then bring some stuff down here to Delaware to be able to do. Maybe I need a glue gun down here too. That's always a thought too. So that's Candy Cane Lane from Stitching with the Housewives. So for a pattern that I bet you if you didn't make a million mistakes like I did and sat down and stitched, it wouldn't take long to stitch that. That's pretty small. It's on their 28 count, finished size unrecommended fabric 4x3 on a 28 count. Stitch count is 56 by 42. Now there are a lot of little changes, as you can see in that house, but the words and things, once you do them right, go by quickly. Now this next one you saw in my Stitch With Me if you watched it, and it is 'Twas a Fair Night from Stone Street Stitch. That's the pattern. What I am stitching is just the house, not the top, not the bottom. And I don't know if you follow them on Instagram. It was a couple, oh gosh, I don't know how many days ago. It was within the last week. They posted this pattern, stitched like, you know, with these colors. And then they also had it to the side with 4 or 5 other colors. There was a deep green, there was a purple, there was kind of a deep pink, couple different blues. It was gorgeous, really, really pretty in all the different shades. And it shows you how versatile this house could be and makes me want to stitch it 3-4 times more just because I love all the colors. So if you want to check that out, it was on Instagram. Stone Street Stitch is, well, search them on Instagram. That might be their handle on Instagram. I'm not 100% sure. I've got all of my patterns up here, so I don't want to switch out, and my phone's being used to tape, so just check it out if you want to, or you may be following it already and saw it. And if so, what color would you do? After that, I was blown away by how it looked with all the different colors. It looks so good. This one I kept was with the red, and there I am. This is a 18 count gingerbread fabric by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I finished this row. I worked down, so this is as low as it's going to go. Let me look at the pattern. Yeah, because that's the door. So the house will come down, and there's one more row with, it's a tree, and then obviously filled in. So beyond the fact of just counting that part with the white, then it'll be just literally all fill in with this. I want to say it's 3777. Let me see if I can see it in the, yes, 3777. And I am using B5200 rather than the called for 3865 because I wanted it to pop a little bit more, and that's a brighter white. So I did go with that instead. And then I think, so my bag has 310 in it, which is what it's called for. You know me, a lot of times I change to Anchor Black. Well, I saw it in the bag. I said, oh, that's what I must have stitched with. Well, I was going back to make sure to confirm this fabric after the stitch with me, and it said that I had changed to Anchor Black. I think there's both Anchor and 310 in here. I don't think you're gonna be able to tell the difference because maybe the roof is all in Anchor and then this stuff might be 310. It's far enough away that it's got a little bit of both apparently. I love their patterns. Really, really love their patterns. So that's where that one is. I don't know if I can just do one more stitching session, probably a couple, and that could be a finish, which was the start in 2020. So I would like to keep this one around in this December so that I can get a finish and get that one finished and off of my constant works in progress pile. All right, so I have two more pieces. I told you, I did a lot of stitching. Good thing there's not a ton of shopping to show you because the stitching is gonna take up most of the video. Which, it's a cross stitch video, right? Should be showing stitching. Prairie Schooler Christmas Tree Farm. I picked this one out this week. Hopefully I didn't show you anything there. That's what it looks like. Go close up with it. It's really only a few colors. It's charted in 7 colors. So pretty easy. I'm fine with changing Prairie Schooler colors. As you know, I've changed the faces of the Santas many a time. If their colors work for it, I'm cool with it, but I'm also have no issue changing things up a little bit. Maybe because I had taken that break from when I started stitching and then 30 years later going back to stitching, or however long it was. So I don't have that need to keep Prairie Schooler just so, because I didn't, for the longest period of time, I wasn't, aware of the Prairie Schoolers. Or I'd forgotten about them, I should say. I'm sure I had some way back when I was stitching the first time around. But here we go. Now this is an 18 count opal. Oh, now if you can see with the light, I've got this wrinkle that drives me nuts. So here again, these last couple weeks we had some frogging issues and having to pull things out. As you can see, as I had started, I was like, okay, I had done some up here. Let's do another house, because there's the next house it's a big house. The next house for me to stitch is this one. So that's a big guy. So I'd gotten a few strands in, did a decent amount of the house, when I realized I was down too low or up too high. I can't remember, one or the other. And I thought about keeping it, but it just, the way how everything was laying, I just decided no. So I pulled all that out. Most of that will get covered again. It should really all get covered again when I restitch it. So I'm not really worried about the little bit of extra there. It was just a matter of there went some stitching time because I had to pull out some more stitching. So after doing that, I said, that's it. I'm done with the house. I'll tackle that another day, maybe this coming week. And I decided to work down here. So I did end up finishing out the sign. Now the sign is filled in with white. And we've talked about with these windows what I will do. And somebody did say, why even bother filling them in? And that's a great point. I'm gonna wait till the very end and see. But for this one, because there was some writing and such, I decided to fill it in with the white. So I filled it in, and then I actually did do the back stitch already. And I kept messing up on that too, because for some reason the thread I had kept breaking on me. So the back part there, normally my backs aren't that messy, but that little section is a disaster. But I got that done. I worked here, I worked down here. I don't know if I did those trees or not. And then I did some more trees. I love the variety of these different trees. They're in 2 different greens. I don't know if you can tell that there. And they're just a lot of fun because each one is like a mini finish. So I'm really enjoying that. And then the one thing I said that I was going to change up here with the moon and the stars, or one of the things I was going to change, it's charted in this color here. And I just didn't like that thought for myself up there, especially with the fabric and the kind of sparkle that this opal has. So I am going to change that to some sort of maybe silvery something or other. Somebody had suggested, does Etoile have a kind of a silver? I meant to check my tin. I forgot to check that. That's a total option. The other thing I was thinking about, Cosmo, I think it is. You know how they have the regular floss now? And I have one project, the Jan Hicks project, that I am trying it. Well, they also have, it's Cosmo something. I can't remember what it is, but they have metallics. I don't know if they're like the Kreinik in how you use them. I don't know if anybody has actually tried them before. If you have, let me know. I can't remember what they're called. There's a name to them. And I can't think of it at the moment. But that's another option I was thinking about. If you've tried them and they're very difficult, let me know and I'll rethink that. And then somebody had also talked about sometimes you can mix the Kreinik or something with another floss, the cotton, and make it a little easier. So that's a thought too. Thank you so much for all your suggestions. I'll leave that to the end. I'm not sure what I'm doing with that. So if you have any other suggestions, feel free to leave them. But that'll be something near the end. I am not stitching the border. I just feel like, however, even if this just goes in a stitching scrapbook, I don't know what's gonna happen with it. If I was to try to finish it, trying to pull the border get kind of all out of place, and really, I think it's gonna look great without it. So I'm just gonna go without the border. So that's Christmas Tree Farm from Prairie Schooler. And then the last one, we're going away from Christmas because you know I have to keep doing this. I just feel compelled. I love this pattern so much. It's the Jardin Prive Lady Halloween. So there you go. And I thought I'd get more done, but the part I stitched on was a lot bigger than I thought. So here it is. This cauldron took forever. There was so much more stitching than I thought. So really, I did this, and that was pretty much it. If you have not seen the hair before, that's 2 different shades of Etoile. I changed that up. Oh, I think I did here too, some of this. I don't know if it's a bee. I think it's a bee flying. I got that done too. And maybe these letters, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't remember. I'm not sure. It's been a few days since I stitched on this. All I remember is that took forever. There are bubbles here. I've had so many great suggestions from all of you. I have to really think about what I want to do. I'm going to pull out the Etoiles now that I have introduced Etoile here and see what may jump out at me. I'll just stitch around that and keep going. At this point, there is a stitch along for this. It is hashtag Lady Halloween SAL. If you want to see some different ways of stitching it, check out Instagram. Lots of fun stitching there. And I know some of you have said you've picked it up. It might be a 2022 piece. I say go for it. I love this piece. And I enjoy it so much every week that I don't care if it's Halloween. I don't care if that's the next holiday ages from now. I still really enjoy it. This is 18 count Smoky Amethyst fabric from To Die For Fabrics. And I think it's perfect for this. I really do like the purple. So that's where we are. Now, underneath here, there is some books. Most of them are, the outline of them is stitched, and then I think it's like straight lines or back stitching to see it as a book, and then a table. And then that's, so it's probably gonna go to right here with my hand. If I had to just guess, not 100% sure. So I might work my way down there, or if there's something else I feel like stitching, we'll see. So that's that, Lady Halloween. All right, that is my long-winded way of showing you all of my current projects that had been started, that you had seen, and where we're at. Now, new starts. These first two were itty bitty teeny tiny starts and finishes because they are so small that obviously it was easy enough to do. And I have a plan. So I had picked up, and I'm going to show you some more later on, Little Fox Stitching. It's a shop on Etsy. They were having a 50% sale, but then they were having a 60% sale. So I went nuts and I bought a whole bunch of patterns. I mean, 60%. They're actually back down to 50%. So they are still at 50% off if you are looking. So for example, this advent calendar right now is $4.08 for US dollars. So this is the advent calendar I picked up. Now I'm not stitching it as an advent. I loved it so much as little pieces. It's kind of like, you know how I have the Halloween calendar from Tiny Modernist? Those I'm stitching individually to be probably put together. This, I don't know if I would stitch all of them, but look at like this bottom that says Merry Christmas and that part. That would be a great piece to stitch. And then look at all of these great individual pieces. So you are going to see, let me see where it is. You're gonna see the cardinal. I stitched that one as one of my pieces. And then I took this little reindeer and I stitched him on his own. But I do love, whoops. Okay, my iPad just froze up. Let's see if I can fix that. Alrighty. Well, maybe we won't be showing you the rest. But I also loved one more. I'll try it again in a minute. My iPad's giving me, yesterday it wasn't going on the internet even though I had Wi-Fi. I'm really hoping it's not on its way out. I use this iPad for pretty much, I have a laptop, but I like the iPad better. And so, I'm really hoping it's not on its way out. But let me show you. This is the little cardinal. Isn't that so cute? Now these are tiny because I did them on 18 count. This fabric is the hazy gray from Dove Stitch. So you can see the back is just white. It's a printed fabric. I'm gonna make these into tiny, tiny ornaments. That's a lot of fun. And this gray is a lot of fun if you're looking for a nice gray. And then the next one, here's the little reindeer guy. And this is, remember, this is the snowflake on blue. I still haven't bought. Dove Stitch did have a sale on Black Friday. Or I don't know if they had a sale, but if you bought a certain amount, you could get a free pattern. And I thought about buying, but I ended up, I don't know, I didn't buy a lot of cross-stitch stuff on Black Friday, I have to say. But I do have a snowflake on a, it's a lighter blue. I don't remember what it's called. This one happens to be called Snowflake on Blue. So I figured I'd give it a try, and I thought this guy was really cute on it. So he's completely done as well. So I thought he'd make a cute little ornament. And then, let's see if it, oh, there we go. At least I can try to do this. And there we go. I figured it out. I do, but you know what, that Advent one, there's one more, there's a snowman that I wanted to do. So we'll get to it. We'll get to it at some point. Let me go over here because this is the next one I need to show you. I want to do that one. Actually, I have the fabric cut for it. This is also dove stitch. These were the 3 that I had bought in my last order. The hazy gray, the snowflake on blue, and this is a denim. I was going to stitch the snowman on this one. I thought that would be really cute. I thought the white would really pop. So those are the 3, and that's the next one. And those are, I mean, I can't just sit and stitch for huge periods of time, but if you could probably put in just a couple hours, you might be able to finish it because they are small and they are quick if you want to do it that way. If you were looking to do it as a full advent calendar, obviously that would be an option too. Let me see if I can see if it says, well, I can show you here the snowman. So that's the guy I want to do next, is the snowman, because I have that. And that doesn't have, oh, so stitch count, total stitch count would be 153 wide and 267 high. And they show it on a 14 count Ada. So that's Little Fox Stitching. And I will link that down below in the description box if you want to see. They have some really cute patterns. I'm going to show you a few more that I splurged on with my 60% off sale. But this is really cute because you really have so many options of different things you could do with this pattern if you wanted to break it apart. So that's that. And that is all charted in DMC. So that's easy. All right, the last piece, another start that I had this week. Wednesday, I didn't plan on necessarily having another start this week, but I kind of was just in the mood for some reason. I did a strand of some color on my Autumn Lane piece, and then I put it away, and I said, you know what I was doing? I was looking at, I went upstairs to pull out maybe some previous starts. I wasn't looking to start, I was looking at a previous start. And I was going through, and I had this one, I didn't have the fabric decided, but I had the floss for it. I must have pulled it all last year. I just never got it done because I know I bought this last year. And I said, it's really cute. Let me see if I can find some fabric for it. I found something that I love, so I was super excited and wanted to start it right away. This one's called Merry Christmas from Cherry Hill Stitchery. I'm sure people stitched this last year. It's super cute. And this one's done on, it's a gray, but it's kind of like a beigey gray a little bit. I went a little bit more gray, a little bit more like a cool gray, as opposed to that's more of a warm gray. And here's where I am. This fabric is so much fun. This was a fabric of the month from Mystic Fabrics at one point. It is in her regular line though, because I checked. It's called Chinchilla. And when I saw it, and after I started stitching on it, I'm thinking, remember how I had tried one of my, it was the Prairie Schooler, the Santa flying over. I tried it on a kind of blue, and I only got so far, and I was like, nope, that's not doing it for me. I'm thinking this one, I want to throw the floss on it. This one, this color may work really nice and have it as a gray. And because she's got, it's not crazy big blocks of, it's not variegation. The other word's blanking on me at the moment. Nope, the word's completely gone. No idea, even though I've used it a million times. It's got enough movement to it and so on and so forth that I think that would look nice, especially with the idea of, Santa flying type of thing. I wonder how it'd be in an opal. I bet you that'd be pretty too. But anyway, this is what I have. Now this one has some DMCs it's charted at, and then it has some that are, let's see, Weeks Dye Works. 2 Weeks Dye Works. Now, the designer did not give a DMC alternative. One was the red and one was the green. So I just picked what I thought would work nicely. I might have looked it up in a chart to see what might have been a suggestion as well. So this is a day's worth of stitching. I thought this was a lot of fun. He's also a little highlighted here. That's a light gray, and then there'll be the white there with it as well. Now this, what white? It's a B5200, which I think it shows up nicely on this, even though this is there are sections of it that are a little bit lighter gray. This is a really, really fun gray. I think I have enough from the piece because Misty's Fabric of the Months, they're pretty long. Might be like an 18 by 29. I'm not 100% sure. So I might have enough to do that other piece without having to buy some from her. So maybe that'll be a start at some point if I like what the colors of the floss look like. But this guy is so cute. I really enjoyed this so far, what's stitching on him. And I do think I'll put the words on there. You could stitch it. Let me pull this back up. You could stitch it and not put the words on there and just have maybe one cardinal down here or one bird. I'll stitch up to there and then I'll decide if I want to keep the words as well. And I might, we'll see. But that's an option if you wanted to pull a little bit out. You could even have done just him and this, the lamppost, snowman and lamppost, without doing the top part. Now with the snowflakes, I might pull out some Etoile and do them in that. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. But that's called Merry Christmas from Cherry Hill Stitchery. A lot of fun. Really like that one. I think that's the first Cherry Hill I've ever done, but I do really enjoy it. So, all right. That is the stitching. That's all I did over the last 2 weeks, all. When family was here, Thanksgiving week, I didn't get a lot of stitching in, I have to say. We were around, we were doing things, even just sitting and hanging out. Sometimes I pulled my stitching out, sometimes I didn't. So it was definitely much, much lighter than what I've ever done before for stitching. So that's why combining these 2 weeks, you're probably getting, for the most part, what would be 1 week's worth, maybe a little bit extra. So anyway, that's that. Okay. Plans? I don't have anything set. I really don't know. As you can see, that Merry Christmas start was completely off the cuff. I hadn't necessarily decided to do it. So, I really don't have anything, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just going to be whatever I feel like. I will have a trip back to Connecticut as we get closer to the holidays, as the kids get out of school. So, there'll be some back and forth there too. Happy mail. I did get a couple pieces. Mocha showed me. They're coming down here tomorrow, so I'm super excited. So I will have some happy mail to show you next week. Now shopping. I didn't do a ton. I did a little bit, but not a ton. I did from that Little Fox, right? That's called, I keep forgetting, Little Fox Stitching? Yeah, Little Fox Stitching. I did some from there, and then I splurged. I have never done a Heaven and Earth. I love watching people do them. And I've only dipped my toe into full coverage, but they were having a sale. So I said, I'm gonna pick up 2. I'm not gonna go crazy, but I picked up 2. This one I've loved seeing. I know the other version of it is no longer available, so I picked this up. And this is Magic Study Rainbow. I love that. So pretty. And again, I have no idea when that would be started or done or whatever, but I figured, well, it's on sale. And then the other one I picked up was called Hidden Harbor. I thought that was pretty too. I loved the variations of the colors. I love the colors in general, and I just like the look of the whole thing. So those are the 2 that I picked up during the Heaven and Earth. I think it was a 1-day sale. Now, if we go back to Little Fox Stitching, I did pick up this Gingerbread Village. Isn't that cute? I only have, like Santa's flying over towns, Gingerbread Villages. I must have like at least 3 I know I have one or two others on my wish list. I have, I can't even remember what I have and what is in my wish list. But again, gingerbread villages are just something that are a thing for me. So I picked this one up, 60% off. And then I also picked up, I thought this was cute, Winter Fairy Tale. So I picked that up. I liked how the buildings looked. And she has that kind of building look for different seasons, which I thought was kind of cool. If I go to the site itself, I just happened to notice, and I don't know if this is new or if this was here. Look at this carousel. You can see I've hearted it. It's on my wish list now. So, really so a lot of fun and different. I don't have anything like that. And then, let me see if there's anything else here that, if you look at this, she has different variations of this. So this says Merry Christmas. And then I think there's one that's just a winter. If you didn't celebrate the holiday, or you didn't want one that said Merry Christmas, oh yeah, this one's called, it just says winter. And it's essentially the same thing. The bottom parts might be a little bit different. And I think she has all the seasons. Yes, for example, here's spring. So there's a lot of fun with that. And then, what's different? Oh, I did like this. I did pick this up. It's Halloween, but I thought that was cute too. So there might be some more shopping here since she's still at 50%. The other thing she had, and I'm just gonna, you can see two of them. I'll show you two of them. She has sampler flowers type of thing. So she's about 5 or 6 of those types of patterns. There's one of them. And then here's another one. They're different colors, designs. I mean, you could do whatever colors you wanted, really. But I thought they were a lot of fun. I think I picked up one of those. I just don't remember which one. And just a lot of fun stuff. So this is kind of cool too. I don't remember this one on, maybe it was. If you want a totally different color scheme, more along the mauves and the purples, Winter Fairy Tale. That's kind of cool. So if you want something that's fun, that's whimsical, that's really cute stitching wise, this little fox. Stitching is, it's all instant downloads. So when you order it, you get instant downloads. So I'll link that below. It's an Etsy shop. And I don't know how long the 50% off sale is for. Oh yeah, new in my store, Christmas carousel. So that's just, it's just new. She doesn't say when it was put in there, but I don't know how long the 50% off is. I didn't contact her to ask, but you know, hey, if you're looking for something, that's it. So that's really, I went kind of crazy with digitals more than anything else. I think I have a couple fabric of the months that Mo's bringing down for me, so I'll be able to show you those next time I see you. And that's really it for the shopping. All right, giveaways. So I still have giveaway business to do before we get to the main part. I just can't give away things right now. I'm trying hard. I'm really, really trying hard. So you know, it's probably been about a month now. Green Terrace, I have my note here. Green Terrace is a Etsy shop that sells digital patterns. And she had a listing where you could get 5 patterns. So I did a giveaway. Whoever wins will get to choose 5 single patterns. So I am on my second name at this point. The first name did not get back to me. So I know it's been 2 weeks since my last video, but I didn't announce during excuse me, I didn't announce during the Stitch With Me because I didn't know if people would watch that like they would regular videos. So I wanted to keep the giveaways with just regular videos. So the second winner on this, since I didn't hear from the first, is Kathleen Sullivan. Kathleen, you have 1 more week to get a hold of me. And if I don't hear by next video, which hopefully will be next week, I think I should be back on the weekly schedule, I will pick another name for somebody else to win this. So Kathleen, I would love to have you get those. Just get back to me on that. And if you have questions about it, reach out to me just so I know. We'll chat, and then once you decide, I'll let the company know. I'll let the shop know. So that's that one. Now, This one, we have this cute little pouch, stitch pouch. I did not hear from the first winner, and it's been 3 weeks now since I skipped a week, so I am going to pick a new name on that. So I just have the names in a little baggie, and I'll move the names around a little bit so it's all fair and square. And the winner is, who is this? Melody Hurley. So Melody, congratulations. I'll put your name here. You are the new winner of this, and I can't name what kind of, the craft company. This is from jubilancelane.com, but you are the new winner of this kit, and it has everything you need to fill that out. So if you get back to me, I would love to send this to you. All I need is your shipping address, and you can send that to my Gmail address or Instagram, both of which are down below. And I do check spams, and I do check. And if you send and I don't respond, or I say I haven't heard, make sure in your comment you say I sent you something, and then we'll reach out and chat, because I always get notified of that. Okay, so Melody, congratulations. You are the new winner of this. So that's that. So that's the old business. And then this week, I was giving away these 3 pieces of, or 3 skeins of the different brown flosses. These are all 3 Threadworks over-dyed floss. And actually here you can see, I couldn't see, I don't think last time, the variegation, but there definitely is some. And then we have this one, and then we have this wildly variegated one. So I asked anybody interested to say the word brown. And let's see, who am I sending those to? All right. I didn't do a great job mixing these up the first time, so I want to make sure I'm doing that now. Always try to make it fair. And if you're a previous winner, it's not like, okay, if you've won from me before, I don't put your name in. I do. So feel free, if you've won something else and you want to enter again, feel free to do so. All right, so I think I've talked enough. The winner is Wendy Eastman. Congratulations, Wendy. You've won those flosses. Wendy, I don't remember, have I? My brain, you might have won something before, now that I think about it. Reach out to me, make sure we connect, and then I have your address and we can send that out. So congratulations, Wendy. So that's that. So I'm gonna put those over here with Wendy's name, so we know who won that. And then this week, lots of business. This weekend, I'm not gonna take it out. Remember last video I talked about I had bought this for myself, but when I bought one, I bought a second. It's the Best Friend Santa, Jim Shore by Mill Hill. So it's the kit with everything in it. It's got the beads, it's got the floss, it's got the perforated paper, all that. So that, I'm not gonna take it out, obviously. It's all nicely done up, so sorry for the glare. But that is this week's giveaway. So, because he's holding a little puppy, the word to say in the comment is puppy. If you would like to be entered, that's all you have to do. You don't have to say it in a sentence if you want to. I love when some of you get really creative with the sentences. But you could also just comment and then put puppy at the end of your comment. That's fine. So that is this week's giveaway, and I will pick a name next video. Good luck. That's it. That's the stitching. So if you don't want to hear about life, which will be short because I did a lot of life stuff last time, then have a great week, and I will talk to you next video. So this week, I'm not going to repeat all the Thanksgiving stuff that I chatted about during the Stitch with Me. This week was fairly quiet, a little, especially because everybody was gone, so it was especially quiet. Shamrock was tough this week, though. I think when everybody left, he got affected a little bit too, and his belly was a little off, and his system was off. So there was 2 nights where he was up at like 1:30 in the morning having to go out. And that's very unusual for him. I don't know, and he could have eaten something off because obviously more people means things fall on the floor. Mo and I are pretty strict with what he eats or doesn't because he's had belly issues, but you know, things fall. So it was like having a 6-week-old again. Getting up at 12:30, 1:30. I go to bed at 10. I am an early go to bed person. So by 12:30 or 1:30, I am generally, if I'm asleep, that's the best part of my sleep night. And then after that, things get a little dicey. So needless to say, get up, take him out in the middle of the night, you know, all that good stuff. So this week's been a little bit more of a low-key week because he's exhausting me. He's laying right now in the bed. He's blending in so much you can't even see him. But he's resting. Although last night I was the restless one and he was not. I have to say, I have to give him credit. I think he waited till 6:30 before he said, come on, let's go and let's get things going. So, but that made for a little bit of a longer week. I had doctor's appointments, you know, have you the yearly stuff, and then you got to go for your yearly, all this test and that test, whatever. So I got stuff like that to do, just your kind of normal stuff like that. And then tomorrow I'm getting my booster. So I am drinking, and I should have been drinking it. I'm drinking lots of water because they say, my doctor said, drink lots of water leading up to it, and then the day of, that will help. So hopefully, and this is my stitching arm. So you know I'm getting the shot in this arm. That's what I did the first 2 times. So that's what I'll do with the booster as well. So we'll see. I don't know what the weekend will bring. I'm getting the booster on Saturday. Mo is getting it on Sunday. So we'll see how we feel. We might be just kind of chilling and hanging out and not doing much of anything depending on how we feel. My mom had it a few weeks ago and she went through it with flying colors. She was like, yeah, it was nothing. So hopefully we'll do the same when we get ours. But that's the big rockin' weekend plans. I do want to get, I'm trying to figure out down here, you know, where to get wreaths and things like that. And I wanted to wait for Mo because, you know, he likes to kind of help with decorating and things. So this weekend I do want to go look for a wreath and maybe find a little bit of maybe other greenery for outside. Just a little bit. So we have to kind of explore and see where we're going and how we're doing that. So that'll be a lot of fun, maybe a little bit of exploring as well. And because I still have 2 pumpkins out. I had a pumpkin kind of on the stairs and then a pumpkin over by the garage and in among the the bushes by the garage. So I think it's time to get rid of the pumpkins. And our mums, we have 1 window box in the front. And the mums are going gangbusters. I almost hate to pull them out, excuse me, but I was thinking about putting some greenery there. So I feel really bad, but you know, we bought them at Walmart because at that point we waited too long and they were $1 each. So they didn't look like they were gonna make it. And then all of a sudden they just went gangbusters. So I've still got the whole autumn harvest sort of look on the outside of the house. I want to change that up a little bit. So maybe this weekend. And that's about it. That's all I got. So some stitching, maybe some other fun stuff, maybe some chilling, depending how we feel. And that's about it. I hope you had a great end of November, whether you were in the US or not, or whether you celebrated or not, or however you spent the time. I hope it was lovely for you. And I hope you're well, I hope you're safe, and getting lots of stitching in, however it is. And until next time, happy stitching.